Okay,
Good.
Hawk, enough with the racist jokes.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Yeah,
Oh,
and there
fine.
goes the monetization.
Yeah, fuck it. I don't give
Already
a shit.
done.
And no, you know, right away.
And there goes the monetization.
There we have it. Thank you all very much. First of all, guys, Happy New Year. It's the first time I speak to a couple of you for this year. So Happy New Year, everybody. Pöst Zerö, we're back, answering the most important question of all. Should men save women? Are we our sister's keeper? Are we the protector of the realm, the watchers in the night? In my humble opinion, the word should, it already says enough. No.
Exactly. That's the big word right in there. The whole statement, like you just said. The word should.
But Nuke introduced this topic. So Nuke, go ahead. First of all, how have you been? And then let's get right into it.
I've been good, guys. Nice to see everyone on the panel again. Should we save women? Like, the thing is, okay. So first off, this question, most men will be like, "Hell no, I ain't saving these hoes," or the little the masculine bravado of like, I say I'm a man, so I'm a man. But then if you look at their personal lives, they do a lot of forgiving and a lot of saving in their personal lives, in terms of like accommodating women's bad behavior in their own life, not setting boundaries with women in their own life, and always having this thing where like women are weak and they need to be protected, constantly making concessions for women. And then you say, hey, and you tell them, hey, should women be saved? They're like, no. I'm like, well, your life doesn't reflect it, dude. You just you're doing the opposite. You're saying things that make you feel good and like a man, but in reality, you're not. So the question, people always say, no, women are, but the way they act, the things they do, the actions they take do not reflect that. So we're here to kind of dig deeper into, do you really believe that? Or are you just saying that because it makes you feel good? So
define save, because I would say, like, if you have a woman in your life who is invested in you, you're invested in her, you have built that up for however long, like long, sort of say, maybe you're married, committed relationship, maybe you're what's the other one, cohabitated, and there's another one, common law, maybe you're common law, and of course you want to take care of the other person, of course,
right?
But what would you define as saving?
I would say like setting yourself on fire just to keep a woman warm in general. Like, for example, let's say that you are in a relationship with a girl and then you have to do everything for her. Like, she can't do anything. Like, she can't cook, like, can't clean, she can't do anything. She said, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do that, blah blah blah. And it's just like you constantly make excuses like, oh, she's just a girl, she can't handle this. And you realize, like, no, dude, you're like basically becoming her father or her guardian, in terms of like, hey, I got to do everything. Like, if women that really care to be with you will try to make themselves useful as much as possible, right? They will figure things out. Women will change a tire for you if they're about that life. Some women will literally open the hood of your car and try to help you fix your car, even though they probably don't know how to, but they'll try, they'll give it a shot, right? And then there are women that just show up and, maybe you just hook up and they're like, we're in a relationship now. So it's like, realize that what you're doing is that this girl, probably no other guy wanted to be with her. So you're the sucker she's going to be with because, you oh, she's hot, or I'm lonely, or whatever reason you say to yourself. But then you're with this girl and you realize, like, she has no skills. You're going to be with this girl for the rest of your life. And she can't even, operate a washing machine. She can't even open a book to learn how to make a recipe or anything like that, which everyone does. So it's like, be careful who you save or who you get in a relationship with, because you could end up saving that person and it won't serve you at all. But you'll feel like, oh, I'm a man. Men got to do everything. Men, we got to be. I'm like, no, dude, your wife can do things. Your girlfriend can do things. You don't have to walk outside to parallel park a car for her every single time. She can learn. She can learn. Yeah.
You need to parallel park for her. Yeah. It reminds me of like the, I wouldn't say it's the gospel. Yeah, the preaching that went that went on in the evangelical church a lot, where, and I've seen that here in my hometown, even where we have the evangelical church, and there were girls who we knew from like even high school, the later years in high school, and all of a sudden they had like 3 kids from 5 different dudes. No, 5 kids from 8 different dudes. Do the math, it works. And they weren't married or whatever, but then all of a sudden they were sitting in church and they were accepted by the evangelical church. Now, I'm not saying you should like shun them or whatever, like people don't deserve to die in the streets, of course not. But then the men were told like, hey, you need to man up and take care of this woman, where it's like, why? Can't I decide that for myself? Well, it's the manly thing to do. It's that shaming language again. Esther Villar talked about
Because reasons, because book. Yeah.
Mhm.
Nah. Thick book, 2,000 years old. That's why.
Let me check and see if I can find, where this is.
Holy shit, he's actually got one.
Yeah, Bible looks like really magical like that. It looks like the tome of knowledge.
The Enchiridion.
I want this. Yeah, I got a couple copies, but this is my favorite one.
Hey, be careful. We've got Mish on the panel, okay?
Yeah.
What is this cut off?
He's sprugging out right now.
Mish, you okay?
I'll rip him apart.
Oh shoot.
Well,
Yeah, I'm just planning out my attack.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Okay.
Me too. It's all right. It's all right. Yeah.
Like when never mind. That joke is offensive.
Well, I mean,
I don't want you to get demonetized. I don't want you to get
as long as it doesn't have like the chosen people or an N bomb, I think we're pretty safe. People know what we're about.
Well, it'll have a bomb, all right. I mean,
hey. But essentially, like dudes say a lot of things online to make themselves seem masculine, but you see their personal life, and you're just like, no, dude, you're saving women. Like, you are the opposite of what you're saying. That's what I'm saying. Like,
well, you're not wrong. It also, what I would say, I already brought up the example, like, is there investment from both sides? But like in general, going out of your way to save strangers. I can't remember who this was. It might be Rob. No, I got it from Rob, but it is a wine more please quote. Like, if you're not fucking her, why would you care?
Yeah.
sounds about right.
No. Hawk, you want to go into this?
Yeah, I'll go into this. One of the things you'll see all the time on Twitter or something, we see this all the time with the guys in the tradcon sphere or in like the general right-wing politics sphere here, is that they have this vision in their minds of the idyllic past where men were men and women were women, right? And if you come from that side of the aisle, I mean, I certainly do, then the idea of that men should be protecting women and saving women, maybe that really appeals to you. And it's kind of hard to argue. It worked for us for thousands of years and everything like this. It's just how human beings are meant to act. Patriarchy's in charge, man's in charge, woman follows, all that good stuff. And maybe that's something that really appeals to you. And just like we said at the very beginning here, the key word is should. It's like, hey, if you want to do that and you want to have this traditional relationship and everything like this, where the man is in charge and the woman stays home and raises the kids and everything, if you can get that to work for you, then go right on ahead. However, the issue that guys like us have with guys in the tradcon sphere is not necessarily about like the end state goal. Some of us might even share that, but the issue we have is their prescriptions, like laying that out for everybody else in a world that clearly isn't the same world where those like institutions, where those ideologies, where those viewpoints like flourished. The times they are changing, to quote Bob Dylan here. Women basically have agency that has been given to them and mandated by the state. So if you're going to talk about how, all of us need to go and save the women, it's like, dude, the whole fucking state and the whole fucking country and the whole fucking social media apparatus, all the schools, everything is out there to save the women. All right. And nobody is out there to save you, the dude. It's like, gotta take care of yourself first. It's like when they tell you on a plane, like, put your own mask on before saving others.
Mm-hmm. And I think what Nuke meant, and please correct me if I'm wrong on this one, Nuke, is that even if there's investment and things like that, is that a man becomes too forgiving and keeps pushing forward his own boundaries, where he keeps making concessions, where it's like, yeah, I used to not care about this, or I used to care about this, but you know what? I don't care anymore. Even though, like, that used to be a very hard boundary for you. It's like, what happened here? It's like, okay, you're invested in this person, but I think the fear of loss for a lot of guys kicks in then as well, where it's like, oh shit, I've invested so much in this person. They're doing this. It's like, maybe it's a one-time thing. Maybe the behavior changes. And then all of a sudden they're stuck in something. They kind of lost themselves. And now they don't know how to handle it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely that. I mean, I think another part of this too is like, okay, so you're a guy, right? And you're in the tradcon sphere, and everybody has told you one of the most important things about being a man is to be responsible, an upstart man. He protects his women, he takes care of them. My wife will never go to work in anything like this, right? And you run into this brick wall when you find out that the reason why this arrangement worked in the past is because you had things, whether it was just the natural world around you that you were forced to have this arrangement, like, oh, the guy's the breadwinner and the woman stays home and raises kids and such, just because of like technology, because women couldn't be out in the fields working, or they weren't out killing tigers or whatever the hell was going on. So you actually had like the real world was reinforcing your, ideology, your thoughts about things. And then you kind of get hit by a brick wall today where nothing in the world is actually reinforcing your worldview. And this becomes a real problem when you are doing all of the work, but you're not being rewarded in the same way that you think you should be. And then when you go and try and rules lawyer everybody else, particularly women at this point, like showing them Bible quotes or whatever guys can tend to do in these circumstances, and you realize you're just out on your ass. It's like, well, what the hell? I'm following all the rules, but nobody else is. And that's our point here, is that there's no enforcement mechanisms, especially for women, to actually force them to follow the rules that you are also following. So nobody's on an even playing field here.
Mm-hmm. Well, I also think that there's a lot going on where guys don't understand their own boundaries, even where their perception is like, this boundary will change your behavior, where it's like, no, that's not what a boundary is about. A boundary is about you not accepting behavior. She can do what she wants, but if it's a boundary for you, it is up to you to make the decision to, well, remove your attention, affection, and when like in dire straits, even commitment. And I think that perception is strange to a lot of guys.
Yeah, I was going to say, and to this level, at this point, you got guys that are at a level of learned helplessness at this point too, because they've been told all this time, serve and serve and serve, particularly, especially in the church, as we were mentioning earlier. You've been told to constantly serve, but expect nothing in return. So now they feel guilty for even expecting any kind of reward in exchange for any kind of service that they may have done.
Mm-hmm. I think that in general, expecting a reward isn't the best viewpoint in life to have.
Yeah.
But asking yourself how you want to be treated is a very good starting point.
Mm-hmm.
Where, hey, would you want to be treated this way if you put in work? It's like, oh, yeah. No, not really. Then why do you do it?
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like, I guess, reward, you can be, it's hard to say other than you can be rewarded, I guess, and still, I don't even know. I think, we do things often because we want something either in return, even if it's just a simple thanks, I think. And oftentimes we don't even get that sometimes too. And I mean, they assume that if it's us taking care of a woman, then, oh yeah, we expect to be able to sleep with her or something like that. Now, the guys that'll tell us that we need to serve them, I believe they think that, they'll get that kind of thing. But
women fought 60 years for independence, and now they finally got it.
Yeah.
They still
And
need
then-
us. It's like which one is it gonna be, ladies?
Yeah, we gotta continue to protect and serve them regardless. Yeah, it's like
Well, that's what's at the foot of this whole discussion, right? And I know many guys on this panel have addressed this question in their own way previously, but the question of like female agency, and does female agency exist? Now, I come at this from on a biological level, females absolutely do not have agency at all. There's no way. They're not programmed for it. It's not there at all. However, specifically in the last 60 to 70 years, the state has basically legislated their own agency into law. So now it's like, okay, we have all the women indoctrinated to think that they have, agency. We have the entire state who's backing up that lie of agency. We have an entire social media agency, media, government, everything is also fighting that lie. And then you've got like a couple group of dudes out there who are trying to, live by the old order rules. It's like, no, you're setting yourself up for failure. So even though a lot of the trad prescriptions are probably correct, the actual, advice on how to fix the situation or how to be successful for yourself as a dude just lands you into a shitload of trouble.
Pretty much. Mish, you've been quiet.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a spot with a good internet connection so I can chime in.
Live
Sound
from
good,
the
Nick?
desert.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds good.
that's
Now.
one of the
He's in his-
downsides of
yeah.
like actually working in the middle of nowhere in the desert.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
can you guys hear me
broadcasting
properly?
live from it. Yeah, we got you.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, that's I keep doing like today. I've had this same topic of conversation with one of the employees under me, and he was complaining about one lady that he knows, and then he wanted to save her and everything. And I told him like, dude, she's not related to you by blood, and you're basically not. I don't want to demonetize your show, but he's basically not banging her. Like, why the fuck do you care about her?
Mhm.
Like, as long as she's not related to you and you're not responsible, you shouldn't save her. You shouldn't bother with her. Like, even when she's related to you and you're married, it's still like not your job to save her. If she doesn't want to be saved, that's her thing.
Mhm. It's also kind of like the thing. And Nuke, like, we mentioned the whole saving, and then the question becomes saving from what or whom?
Well, I think
So-
most guys understand that it's usually from themselves. Like that's why
Yeah.
that's why we have podcasts where we yell at women, "Hey, stop selling pictures of yourself online," or "Hey, stop being a hoe," or doing whatever, right? And it's just like, dude, you're gonna tire yourself out. You're gonna burn out as a man trying to take any woman in your life and try to change her ways, like forcefully, like shaking her, but grabbing her shoulders and shaking her and being like, "Stop it, stop it." It's gonna burn you out.
Can you imagine having to do that for multiple women, seeing them all online and trying to hold them all accountable? That's got to be exhausting.
Yeah, I'm glad they get paid what they do because I couldn't. I don't have the. I couldn't do that. And the thing is too, like, here's the thing. We as men, we love to protect. It's in our DNA. Like one of the reasons we don't want women soldiers on the front line is because when they're in danger, men jump in front of bullets for them, right? Because it's in our freaking nature, right? That's why besides the whole strength and them having periods and all that stuff, that's one of the reasons we don't have women soldiers on the front lines because we are biologically designed to give our life for them. That's just
Unless
who we
you're
are.
America.
But the thing is, how do we navigate in a world where, hey, I'm a man, I like to protect, but I see women that are nice to. How do I know when it's time to switch over to that and all that? And I say, hey, number one is time is on your side, right? When the Aurora shooting happened, you remember the Aurora, Colorado shooting? You guys remember that after
Yeah.
the Dark Knight
Yep.
Rises came out?
Oh, yeah.
After the Dark Knight, yeah.
Was it 2011?
2012,
like
I think. I think it was 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dark Knight.
Well,
Yeah.
a lot of the men jumped in front of women to take the bullets, right?
Yeah.
And those men died. And here's the thing: those men didn't know those women, and they had to make a split second decision. Do I Do I run away or do I jump in front of this bullet for a girl?
Mhm.
Right. But if you think about it, there's other instances where men were when it wasn't a split second where men had time to think about what to do. They usually don't. I don't know this woman. I'm going to run and save my own life, right? So it's all a function of time. Your protective instinct is sometimes a function of time. So when you meet a girl instantly and you instantly think, oh look, she's so feminine and soft, I got to protect her, like a boob cake girl, you know, I got to defend her online and stuff. I'm like, think, dude, take some time and think. What is she showing you about herself? You don't know her. So why are you trying to protect her? Why are you trying to protect her from herself, from everything? Right? Think about it. Give it some time.
It's the only game
Yeah.
that most dudes have. That's their
Yeah.
first thought.
Right. And then, like, okay, let's say you find out she has a lot of debt, right? How long does it typically take for a girl to tell you, hey, I made bad choices in the like 3 months before you finally know, like, oh, this girl is bad with money and I'm her option, I'm her way out. You know, like that's the only way you can get over being duped into saving a woman, right? Because you can say online, like, oh, no, I don't save these hoes. That's easy to say online. That's easy to say to your friends. But when you're in a relationship with the girl and you're falling for her, things are going good, you got to really sit down. I'm like, what is this girl like behind the facade? Like, let me wait it out. Time is on our side, gentlemen. And if you jump to conclusions about and don't give women the benefit of the doubt, you will suffer. You will end up saving a girl even though you don't want to. So
then you get the whole saving the best story. One of Rollo's worst. Sorry, how do I phrase this?
Best worst.
No, it's
The
like
worst best.
It's
like
infamous.
it hits the
Infamous,
worst
yeah.
posts.
Yeah, it's an
Mhm.
infamous post.
Yeah,
It's
most
infamous.
infamous post about the guy who was married and the woman he was married with gave him like kind of starfish, and then all of a sudden he goes into the attic and finds fucking porn tapes of her doing threesomes and all sorts of horrible shit. Well, to him, she always said, "Oh, I'm not like that." It's like that's when you get that.
Didn't Riley Reid just have a kid? So she got saved. There you go, gents. Line right up.
To continue what Nuke was saying, like, always the beginnings are nice and super sweet. Just give it 6 months until all the masks drop off and you can see her for truly who she is. You need to have that kind of control. Like, okay, so like wasn't like what Nuke was saying. Basically, when you have a girl just riding your dick, and giving you a good time, I'm giving you all the attention and everything, it's super easy for you as a man to fall into that trap and like thinking, oh, this is an amazing woman, she loves me and everything. And just give it 6 months later, like up to a year, and you're gonna see all the masks drop off and you can see the real thing. That happened with me a lot. That's why I always like give it 6 months minimum just to see how they act after the 6 months, basically the honeymoon period.
Yep.
So I don't offer to save them, I don't like offer to do anything. Everybody's super sweet in the beginning, they're all great, amazing behind the screens, even on dates, because you're not living with them, you're not seeing them 24/7, you're just meeting them on dates or like fuck dates or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's one of those cases where it is good to think long term and to plan out well ahead, because you should expect something like that to happen, because that always happens. I mean, they can wear the mask for longer or shorter or whatever, but eventually it does come off and you start seeing the parts that you might not necessarily like, but which parts are you willing to help out with and deal with, and which parts aren't you?
And one of the things, honestly, I discovered that the moment you become too comfortable in a relationship, and everybody's they're at fault at that, we all feel comfortable after a while and we just drop our guard. It's that moment when you just stop being yourself and just being the beta version of you, like full on beta. It's when they decide to leave or like change or do whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably Billy, Daniel.
Many such cases.
It's
Ah.
always
There have been at least 2 or 3 already, I've noticed.
We've got 45 people watching. I think that's the largest amount I ever had on this channel. No, honesty. Hit the like, guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Happy
I hope
New
you
Year.
enjoyed. And a happy
Nice.
goddamn New Year. It's because of this man. Look at him. Because of him. They're all
Yeah, but the thing is, going back to the topic.
Probably.
Yeah, going back to the topic
yeah,
about
yeah,
saving
Go
women.
ahead. Go ahead, Mish.
Yeah, but like back to the topic about saving women, it's you gotta stop looking at them at like they're special creatures and they're one of a
No, they're
kind.
not.
No, yeah, you need to start treating them like humans. Like defective humans like yourself as well. Like nobody's perfect, nobody's amazing. So once you see that and you can see that they're just human, they will fuck up. They will do whatever they want.
Sir,
Women are gonna be women.
sir,
They're
I
not
am
that
Jack
angelic
fucking
being.
Napier. I am perfection itself.
I mean, you're a rare, case. That's a different thing. Like,
Do I look Arab to you?
Have you
I don't know,
Yeah.
Habibi. We have to discover that.
Yeah, you just have to be careful. And then external to relationships, you may be also saving women too. You don't even know it, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to go online and defend women. You don't have to go online and pay women for anything. What service can like? Why do you pay a female dating coach for dating advice? Why are you financing? Like, why are you financing women that just feel like they're good at things? Like stop. Like there are guys out there that want to help you and want to see you. It doesn't have to be any of us, but if someone out there cares enough to give you advice to be like, hey, stop this. So
Like humans in general are indeed capable of hiding their flaws for 6 months, 3 to 6 months, I believe. It depends on the person, but it also how do I phrase this? The greatest factor in all of that is not necessarily whoa, Gov, what happened?
They found him.
They found him. FBI, open up.
Yeah.
I got that on the way.
Do you know Rolo Tomasi? Do you? But what I wanted to say is that it doesn't specifically has to be the new person in your life, the woman or whatever, but I think it's mostly the guy himself, that he needs to know what he is willing to deal with, what issues he is willing to take care of. And instead of continually focusing on what she can give him, he should focus more on what he wants. Because I mean, of course, in the beginning you're gonna present yourself, or you feel better. You get that honeymoon period, like you're full in love and whatever, and later on, I'm not gonna say you're not in love, but it becomes a bit normal. But you are also gonna treat each other more like a human being. You're gonna get a little bit agitated every now and then, or whatever, or you're not as enthusiastic about something because you've seen it, you've heard the story. Like we've all been there, where a woman tells you the same story 3 times. It's like, yeah, we've been there, and there's only so many times you can act enthusiastic.
Do you know what the most common story girls use when they flake on me? COVID.
Still?
All of them.
I was gonna say.
I will show you the text right now. I was supposed to go on a date last night, and I got flaked on, or she canceled like 3 hours before, and it was COVID. I was like, I looked at the year. I'm like, damn,
They just have no honor, man. When people try to say women are the same as men, like women have absolutely none of it, dude.
If she really wants it, she will crawl through COVID for you.
Yeah, exactly. She would.
Pretty much. I remember like COVID going on, and I had like friends tell me like, "Oh, dating's horrible." Meanwhile, Watson and I look at each other where it's like, not really.
No.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think around that COVID time, I mean, for goodness sake, I was hospitalized for it, and I still, I would have come out of that and would have gone out and been like, "Hey, let's go on a date as soon as I'm out of the hospital." No,
Governor in here getting some freaking nurses
dude,
on it.
Seriously though, and I remember during that time frame too, I think I had a lot of girls that wanted to be with me, but there was no COVID involved. If anything, they were more lonely sitting at home, not being able to do anything, and they wanted to go out and do things. So that's why I wouldn't take that as an excuse whatsoever.
Yeah, no, I remember a guy who met somebody and they both lived in the Netherlands, maybe like 2 hours away from each other, and they first talked on the phone for the duration of the curfew because they didn't want to get COVID. And I'm like, what? But they're living together now, so it all ended up well, depending on the matter of perspective, I guess. But that was so odd to hear. Meanwhile, Watson and I were here like, we never got that.
How many of you guys ever heard the phrase, "You're not like those other guys, you're different"?
All the time.
This was
Every
yeah.
time.
told to me
Oh,
today,
yeah.
dude.
That is the worst phrase a guy could ever hear. You're about
How
to
many?
get fucking destroyed.
Because
Yeah, that's
you
my brain
know
starts
yeah.
going. Okay, how many dudes is she comparing me to? Because goodness,
Yeah, run for the hills.
Run.
Do
Yeah.
you guys know that meme? I've never done this before, and then her dog looks at you. You guys know that?
Yeah, I've seen
Yep.
it. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Dude, I've had a chick who I matched with on Tinder like a few days ago. And I remember I told like it's gonna take me 1 day to get your mobile number, to get basically your contact number, whatever.
Oh!
2 weeks. 2
Oh,
weeks.
I just remembered. Nuke, 2 weeks. What
2
the hell?
weeks.
Or who
14
said
days.
that in
Oh
the
my
chat?
god! Yeah, I saw that on Twitter. I was like, "What the fuck? Are you kidding me?"
Where it would take 14 days to get her number or something like that. What was it?
What?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a guy who
2 weeks.
apparently took 2 weeks to get her number on Tinder or something like that. It's like
That's
2
Jesus,
weeks
dude.
to get a number?
That's my 2
Dude.
weeks notice to get out of there.
What the
Yeah, right.
dude? I literally sometimes I don't even need to tell them anything. I just say hi and they just give me their contact number. You guys seen the screenshots, right?
But you're Mish.
Been
you know?
there. Yeah.
Here, this one.
On the side, I love dogs doing that face.
Yeah, that's Tadashi. Tadashi makes that face all the time.
I believe it.
Shiba Inos are well known for their expressions.
Yeah. Let me see if he's side-eyeing me right now. Hold on. Tadashi. Oh, he's in the room. Damn it.
Oh, okay.
Well, I want
Yeah.
those so bad.
He's probably taking a puppy nap. But yeah, it's one of those phrases where you don't want to hear ever as a guy. You feel like, oh shit, like, and that's what basically these women are doing. On like, if you see on Twitter, do you think, like, for example, you see this girl, like, I forgot her, I think Morgan Ariel, right? She is like the reformed hoe, right? She is the typical TradCon reformed hoe. I'm sure Red Hawk has a lot to say on these, but which is fine, right? I don't care. But here's the thing. She's telling you what to do with your sex life and how you should do business. Let alone that you probably have a job that supports American infrastructure. You probably pay your taxes. You're probably, you follow the law. You're probably a decent human being. You contribute to society. On top of that, some girl thousands of miles away that you don't know is telling you, hey, you know all that work you put in to become an attractive man and kind of live life on your terms and sleep with whoever you want? No, not on my watch, stupid. You're going to do what I want you to do, even though I got to enjoy all the dick. And it's just like, guys will be like supporting women like that. I'm like, those are the women that you have to like, those are the women that are trying to say those things and get on your honor side so they can take advantage of you and then you could save them. All these women, they're all doing the same thing. They're doing it for clout, money, and for top dick. That's all they do it for. So they're waiting for some poor sap to look at them and be like, you know what, this chick, she has my politics. I'm going to save her. And, we all know about women in politics. Do I have to put up the Sam Hyde video?
Yeah, exactly.
I have
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
I have it. You want it?
Yes.
Stop fucking thinking that you need your woman to like align with you completely. Because you know who's gonna align with you completely? A man. A man with Asperger's.
Never gets old.
I mean,
Never gets old.
Gulf can tell us a lot about this. I mean, he's been in the comment section of a couple of like, I'm not like that, girls.
It's so fun, dude. It's so fun. I go on there, don't take Twitter seriously. I just go with that mindset and I have a little bit of fun with that because you see those guys on those TradCon women's pages saying stuff like, don't talk to her that way. And they think that, oh, yes, by talking like this, I'm going to be different. She's going to notice me, senpai, that kind of thing. And it's It's pathetic. It really is. Now, I will say, I know this because I used to be that kind of guy, a decade ago, whatever. I think we all were to a degree at least. Jack says, speak for yourself.
Yeah.
But no, but
I'm gonna be her friend.
I'm gonna be her friend, and I'm going to win her heart. I'm gonna earn my way to her, and they don't realize that behind the scenes, these girls are all probably getting something from somebody. That's why so many of those guys will see somebody like, who was it? What's the female Ben Shapiro?
Fuck.
Gosh, why is it
Brett Cooper?
Guy's name, doesn't she, or something? I don't know.
Yeah,
Brett Cooper. Yeah, there we go. So Brett Cooper and Brittany Venti getting engaged, and everybody's like, "No, oh no, they just wanted a piece of that so bad."
Post about the engagement. Was that you who mentioned something on that?
Yeah.
What did she say?
I said something to her. I said, "So you were obviously with this dude for a certain amount of time. My point was, oh, you're going to show the engagement ring off now that you've secured the bag. Now you're going to show it off to everybody, but nobody knew you were dating this guy before. Now people were trying to tell me, oh, she said it on other podcasts. I don't care about those other podcasts. I'm sorry, but she didn't say anything about it on Twitter. She never said anything about dating where her audience is, where hundreds of thousands of viewers are. They're all there thinking, oh, I've got a shot with her. And now they had all their dreams are dead now.
In my humble opinion, like, she can announce it to whomever she wants and wherever she wants. I think she did, like, when Think Before You Sleep, right?
Yes.
When he made that post about Rolo and things like that, she did mention that they were engaged and whatever. That they were together, and what a surprise that all of a sudden he goes after Rolo.
Yeah. Now, I will agree, she can say it whenever she wants to, things like that. But I feel like I can't help but wonder. I can't say I feel like, that's not allowed. I know that some of them will obviously do it because they know they'll lose their audience if they admit to something like that, being in a relationship, things like that. But, I guess once they announce the engagement, it feels like it's game over. Oh, yeah, she's getting married, so she's already fully committed.
I remember so well when when was this? This is 7 years ago or something like that. My half Brazilian ex, like, when we started dating, we kind of got into the conversation of, can men and women be friends? And she's like, I've got plenty of male friends and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. She's like, yes, I do. And blah, blah, blah. And this and that. And she was talking to some guy or whatever. And I'm like, he wants you, right? No, blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that. And then a couple of weeks later, we got Facebook official back then. Whole thing. And all of a sudden, she saw that a lot of those guys all of a sudden blocked her. She's like, what the hell? Yep. Why would they do that? And I just look at her. I'm like,
yeah, that's a good comparison. I think, gosh, this really sounds like it ages me, but 15 years ago or so, I dated a girl like that. She had almost nothing but guy friends. Well, gee, I wonder why. She had very great, she was I like to call her goth chick because that's basically what she was. So she was.
That makes sense.
She was my goth phase. I had to have that kind of girl at one point, and excellent. In a lot of other aspects, but she had nothing but dudes wanting to hit her up all the time, and so she had options nationwide on freaking websites. Just all the guys like, oh yeah, I'll treat you right. And she never mentioned me one time. I found out later on, and I thought, well, no wonder these guys are all going after her. She was feeling out her options while she was with me. And that was actually one of my first times to have a learning lesson like that. But it was it's very interesting. And then I compare that to what I have now, who immediately was ready to jump in, change that Facebook relationship status, even though she never touches Facebook. Otherwise, she's, a complete contrast from goth chick. So it's kind of nice to look back on and, I guess figure out what you're learning with her.
That's also like one of these things that bothers me so much about like trad women, where it's like, okay, listen up. I actually in real life know a traditional couple. You know where she is?
Not on fucking Twitter.
Not on fucking Twitter, not
Yeah.
on fucking Instagram, not on fucking Facebook. You know what she's doing? She's taking care of 2 fucking kids.
Yeah.
And by taking care of them, I mean actually spending the time with them, educating them,
Yep.
raising them.
Here comes
She
Misha's
doesn't-
tap the sign.
Oh, yeah,
She
where-
doesn't
where's
even
my meme?
want to know about social media. Like her husband is on social media every now and then, and she just looks at him like, keep that away from me.
Yep.
She hears me about social media every now and then, and she's like, I don't know what's going on there, but no. Just no. Like, she's not gonna make a brand out of it or everything. She doesn't even wear sundresses. She mostly wears jeans, although apparently that's a Dutch thing that a lot of women just wear jeans instead of dresses. But she's not baking bread all day, you know. Housework takes a lot out of you. Raising kids takes a lot out of you. I'm not saying it's the hardest job in the world, blah 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 blah. I don't want to go there. Not saying that, but it takes time. And you don't want to go virtue signaling with that. You know how busy a 2-year-old can be? By God, I've seen it. I've seen it. And that's what bothers me so much about like trad women and women is that it's so obviously fake and gay. So fake and gay. To steal one from John Fitch. It's like, this is all an act and nothing more than to pander to whomever
They know what they're doing.
believes in this brand. It's like,
Well, yeah, I mean, to go back to that, and Nuke was making reference to this earlier about how like guys have it in their brain that, oh, I'm gonna be the upstart guy and everything like this. But what's so funny is when the women is doing the trad thing, that's not what a single one of them is thinking about. They're all thinking about me, about myself, you know.
and I.
Exactly. It's so bizarre to me that guys ostensibly like on the right hand side of the political spectrum here just view women as, you know, like completely they view them as different from them when it comes to the most worthless things like women's sports. And I like how troons are invading women's sports, but then in basically all other aspects of life, women are the exact same as men. It's like, why the fuck would you ever take a woman's opinions on politics seriously? Ever?
I have one. I have something.
Do not, I repeat, do not listen to women.
You're right, Shu. Especially you.
Well, one thing she got right. Holy cow.
Shoe on it is actually pretty funny though.
So what are ways that we kind of save women or at least pull them out of their bad decisions outside of a relationship, right? Because we talked about a relationship, like let's talk about like how as a man going outside of his relationship, how does the common man do things that absolve women, like set himself on fire or goes out of his way when he doesn't need to kind of like make excuses for women's behavior and all that stuff. Here's one where you letting women just in general, like well, there's a behavior online, right? Like this woman has a pretty good take. I'm like, she has a good take, dude. Like, look at her posts. Half of her posts are saying, hey, step up as a man. And you're supporting her by saying, yeah, that makes sense. Like, no, dude, she doesn't care about you. She doesn't care about men in general. No woman cares about men on a mass scale. Maybe Mother Teresa, but no woman.
Even that is doubtful.
Yeah, women care about like 3 men in their whole life. Maybe their father, their brother, and whoever she's fucking. Maybe.
In the words of Aaron Clary, women don't like men very much.
No, they don't. They say things. They say things and copy paste from other men online to make money and to get clout. And then they're trying to convince you that they care. They're with this culture war and the degeneracy, but there's only one thing they can do, and that's men step up and be better. And I'm just like, I'm good enough, bro. Like I served in the military. I have a good job. I pay my taxes. I'm doing all these things, and it's still not good for you, Miss 31 years old. You were a slut all your 20s, and now you want me to be better? Like what? No. So first off, don't support these women online financially. Another thing you could do is don't sign up for OnlyFans and shit like that. That's pretty obvious. Like, don't fucking finance whores. Like, I mean, we love hoes, but like, don't finance them, you know.
I know another one. Taxes. Go
Yeah.
directly to
but-
women. Go directly to supporting the
but
single
we-
moms.
Yeah, we can't help that one. That's the only way we're just like, fuck. There's nothing we
Now
can do.
I ain't saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we already pay taxes. We don't have to support women any more than we do. Women are the most spoiled, most powerful they've ever been in history, and they will continue to complain, say that we're not good enough, that we should step up, right? And we're in a time where a woman with C-cup titties and a push-up bra can go on Twitch, play Super Mario, and die 100 times, and she could probably pay her rent in 6 months just doing
On the
that.
first Goomba.
I love how you.
Just
I love how you added
By the
die
time
100
she's the
times.
first
Like they
Goomba.
don't even play the game well.
Yeah, yeah.
oh, where they
like-
don't push the B button. Push the B button. Run.
Yeah. No, and like, if do you guys have any female friend streamers? Like, you guys have any like girls that you know
No.
that stream? Well, I met one, and we're kind of like acquaintances. And I went to her Twitch page because she does Twitch sometimes, and you could see the gifts that men have given her, like people have given her, like like the sum of money. And I saw them, and I'm just like, this girl is like a 5 out of 10. I'm just like, how the fuck, so like, no matter how cool a girl seems, no matter how much she agrees with your view, your worldview, no matter how she's like a male apologist, saying things that sound good to you and puts you in a victim mindset, no matter what she says, she does not care about you. I promise. If a guy tells you online, I wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire, but here's something that helped me. That guy cares a little bit more than that girl, right?
Yep.
Because he's a guy, he understands your experience, right?
I think
But
the biggest
yeah.
action a guy can take is be honest with himself how he wants to be treated, what he really wants. Where it's like, do I want to give my money to strangers? Do you really want that? Or do you want to keep that money to yourself and spend it on yourself or invest or whatever? Go back to that whole mental point of origin thing where it's like, should men save women? No, men should save themselves. Start there. Save yourself.
Exactly. Like this whole conversation of like, do men need
Work
to
on
save the
yourself.
women?
Before.
Yeah, do men need to save the women? As if like we need to be a whole collective of men, and then we need to save the whole collective of women. It's like, no, like a lot of women really suck, and a lot of dudes really suck too. It's like, no, if like a girl impresses me enough, then yeah, okay, I'll treat her well and I'll treat her great, and we're gonna have a great relationship and everything. And if you count that as saving her from the feminist dragon, okay, more power to you. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to like set myself on fire to keep all the other people warm. It's like we talk about all the time in this space about covert contracts, right? And tradcons are most susceptible to this in my experience, because they think to themselves, oh, if I hold up all of these, rules, all of this honor, all of these, prescriptions that everybody's telling me, then I will be rewarded. Women really like a stand-up man who's really traditional and really honorable and has all these convictions. And newsflash, fellas, they don't give a shit. Number one, they can't comprehend it. They can't comprehend any of the, statements of honor and duty and all these things like we can, or have opinions on ideological matters like we do. They're just not like us. So stop. Like we talk about all the time, men are treated as defective women. Well, now you're treating a woman as a defective man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they hate it when you do that. They hate it. They fight you. They'll say you're insecure. Like, don't, it's like pouring water on a cat. Don't do it. You're gonna burn out. And look, every big female content creator right now that is in this red pill space, they all got to where they are at because of men. Women did not support them all the way in this journey, right? So when you see female content creators say crazy shit that doesn't make sense or just blabbing off, it's because men put them there, right? When you see an OF model on a podcast and she's like, being out of pocket, it's because no man, all the men in her life just yesed their way into her good graces. They gave her money. Her boyfriends or exes didn't do anything. Never said, "Hey, don't do this, don't do that." When people say save the West or save the country, what they're trying to say is save the women, right? Because I'm already saved. I'm living in a comfortable apartment. Obviously, I'm going to vote Republican right now because that's the smartest thing to do. But my air conditioning is fine. The infrastructure of my city is fine. I got a decent job. Um, I'm healthy. I go to the gym. Like I'm already saved. I saved myself.
You
I
play
don't need
piano.
anyone. Yeah, I don't need anyone to save me. I already saved myself, right? And if I'm going to save somebody, it's gonna be a 23-year-old big booty Latina with no tattoos, or maybe okay, no sleeve tattoos or no chest tattoos. You know who is on my program. That and it says and is like doing the things she needs to do to be my girlfriend, not somebody on Twitter, not a girl 1,000 miles away from me that agree that is also voting Republican. I'm like, no, I don't care about politics because you know what? In 6 months, you'll be like you'll be sharing Trump memes with me in 6 months because that's just your politics will become mine. You know, it's just natural like that.
You will
So,
assimilate to my thoughts.
yeah, the number one thing you have to realize, especially when dealing with women, is that the number one way you can save women is being selfish. It doesn't make sense to the average guy.
Yep.
The
No,
more selfish I
honestly, I
am.
was gonna say that myself.
Oh, sorry, Shmish, I took it from you.
No, dude, that means we're all thinking the same thing. You can't.
Yeah.
Not even women, everybody around you. You only can save the people around you by being selfish.
Yeah, but that's the paradox of it all, because when you are selfish, it's like I mentioned beforehand, where it's like a lot of guys think like, oh, I can change her behavior. No. You cannot change people. You cannot change people's behavior. You can only change yourself. And from there on, the people who will want to be with you will adapt to you. So because you have become more selfish, you are indirectly inviting in more people who do not reject that behavior. Of course, women shit test and things like that, and that's why mental border of origin is so important. But as soon as you start acting from, oh, she'll change, her behavior will change, it's done.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, like, dude, honestly, the best thing you can do for yourself is just putting yourself, first and being selfish, caring about your own happiness and, well-being, taking care of yourself, going to the gym, taking care of your own career, making money and everything.
Mhm.
People will fall into your own life, whether they want to or not, Like Jack said, if they want to be in your life, they can be. If they don't, they're like, I don't know how many billion people right now in the planet. Like, you're not gonna be alone unless you're a fucking, retard with Asperger's.
Yeah.
Asperger's in paradise.
Yeah, the more selfish you are as a man, the more you put yourself first, the more you could help people. You can't put on someone else's masks before you put on your own on a plane, right? You got to
Yep.
put on your own mask. And then here's the thing too. There's gonna be women that want to be in your life, and they're going to play the role of like, oh, helpless girlfriend, help me. You're gonna be like, okay, it's gonna make you feel good at first, but you understand that one day if you decide to marry this chick, she's gonna have your kids, and once she has your kids, like she can't be lazy. They're like moms don't have the moms don't have the luxury of being lazy, right? So you'll see who she really is too late, because she's going to hate the fact that she has to serve someone outside of herself, even if it's you and the kids, right? Which is what we see online. All these women are so scared of parenthood and being a mom. What they're scared of is having to think of someone besides themselves for once, right? So also be careful that when a lot of women want to be saved, what they're trying is, I want less responsibility. I don't want to be an adult anymore.
Well, it also comes down to like, not per se selfishness, but also that perspective of adding value to your own life. It's like I said, it's not a bad thing to help somebody out, but you also have to be, unfortunately, from the transactional perspective of like, is this person adding value in my life? Is she taking me for granted or not? And, oh, I'm not being taken for granted? Sure. Am I being taken for granted? And then you're going to think like, oh, but she might change or will not. If you have that mental point of origin and you want the best outcome for yourself, you tend to be less lenient on those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's got to earn it. Like, everyone's got to earn your good graces and and an investment too. So every man has a different way of a way a girl wants to be invested in him. That's fine. But at the end of the day, like realize we are in a special time where the oldest millennial women are hitting 43, I think 42 or 43 this year, right? Meaning a lot of the most millennial women are in alarm mode, like they are in emergency mode, trying to find a man right now. We're in an election year where right now it's like conservative values versus Democrats, right? And women are going to start. They're always going to do what's best for themselves. They're going to be like, let me slide over to this Republican side. That way, it'll help me get a strong masculine man that'll take me out of my, the guys that are doing passport bros. They're going to go overseas and they're going to be with beautiful women, and those women are going to be like, marry me, daddy, and they're going to be like, sure, I'll do it. And understand this is the year of men saving women, right? There's going to be a lot of girls who did OF in their 20s, right? And now they're gonna be like, no, I'm a reformed Christian Catholic woman now, and I save the West, all that stuff. So
it's gonna be so insufferable this year.
This is the year where women are gonna try to get. They told men to man down for so many years. Now they're telling us back to man up and be better and do all those things, right? And realize that like you have to be ahead of this. You have to look at this, step back, and be like, I am not going to save anyone but myself. And if a girl wants to be on my program, she's on my program. And my program is this. And that's it. There's no, obviously we are human. We make mistakes. You may fall for a girl, you may not, whatever. But at the end of the day, mental point of origin is the only thing that'll save you from this. Does this benefit me? Right? Is this woman is she trying hard to be in my life? And you'll know. And the things with genuine burning desire, guys are like, what's genuine burning desire? How do I know? I'm like, dude, you'll know.
You'll know.
That is a girl taking ice cream into the train, forgetting it melts.
Yep.
Hey, you guys know the ice cream girl story.
That was an amazing story.
I will never forget that.
I remember it.
It's like you forgot the laws of thermodynamics just to make me happy. It's like,
yeah, going back to what Nuke was saying about, we're going to see a lot more of these women this election season, especially start bending towards the more tradcon Republican conservative viewpoints. That's exactly what my prediction was last week on Rule Zero. I was kind of saying we're going to see more chicks that are like, Pearl-esque, if you will. They're going to be very, I'm going to say these things so that guys will want to be with me more because they're starting to get older now, and they like you said. They're in like some alarm mode. They're in red alert right now. They're going, oh, wait, I got to find somebody right now before the lights turn off in the club, basically.
Exactly. That's going to be like, because women are right now, it's over. Like millennial women, almost, what's the youngest millennial right now? Like 28?
Gosh, that's weird to say.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, every single millennial woman, every girl that you see that listens to the same music that you do, has the same nostalgia, watches the same movies, that like the same cohort group, they're all in emergency mode. They are like frothing at the mouth.
Yep.
Whether it be paying expensive surgeries to look younger, whether it be shaming men, those are all their tactics. They are trying to get you out, telling you the wall isn't real. The wall isn't real. I'm like, yeah, it is. Like it's real. Like I don't know what to tell you.
Can I just ask if we can go back to like nerd girls instead of like politics? It's like I like Star Wars. I like Lord of the Rings. It's like, can we have that instead of women?
A lot of nerd girls are all equally duplicitous. You got to be careful. Same rules apply.
I paint Warhammer.
I want to go back to something that Nuke.
I'd like them to at least pretend that they're interested in what I'm into. Like,
go ahead.
I think the story that I made about, the story that I made on Twitter about my girl now, when we were talking to each other, we weren't dating just yet. There was a time that she borrowed a copy of Lord of the Rings and started reading it in front of me just because she thought, I would like it. And she didn't want to admit to it at that time. But man, I was like, that's hot right there. Yeah. Give me that, even if you're pretending, I don't care if you're faking. That's cute. You're trying to attract me.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, it's called like genuine burning desire is very quiet. It's not like it's not like a post on Twitter about look at my husband. He's so amazing. No. Genuine burning desire, it comes in different forms. Like, for example, canceling your Miami trip once you meet me. You're like, you ask, hey, I thought you were going to Miami. Oh no, I didn't feel like going anymore. And you're just like, she canceled her Miami trip because she just met me, and she's like, I don't want to let this guy know that I'm a hoe. I want to, I'm trying to put on my best behavior because I think this is the guy, right? That's what genuine burning desire. It's very quiet. It's not like loud and bombastic. Women don't post about genuine desire on social media. It's just it's a feeling. They can't pretend to be genuinely into a guy. They can only, they can post like, oh, this is my husband, I love him, and then it's like one picture of the 20 pictures of the ring and one picture of him. That's not genuine desire.
It's that tweet I made. If you are not annoyed by how much she's into you, you're not doing it right.
That's
And
one of my favorite things. Yep.
Right. And then like you have to kind of let those kind of women save you a little bit. And what I mean by that is just like let them cooperate in your life, right?
Oh,
if she wants
favorite character, the bad boy who needs saving.
Yeah,
it's
and like
though.
hey, can I clean your kitchen for you? Yeah, of course. Hey, can I like right now a girl's about to order me coffee and Uber Eats me some coffee. And I said, hey, no, that's fine. She's like, no, please. And I'm like, okay, well, fine. And that's how you kind of like let her know, like, hey, if you want to be in this life, you have to invest. Like, I'm not saving you, right? I'm not saving you. You have to want to be here. And that's just how it has to be,
It's like it's like you are piloting your own ship here, and there's potentially a room on this ship for her to join you on. But at the end of the day, you still got to make sure this ship is going in the right direction. It's like, hey, there's a little spot over here you could join me on, but I'm not holding my breath.
One more thing from me: don't lead with your fucking wallet.
Oh yeah, don't do it.
Come on, man. Rich Cooper says to do it. Come on,
dude. Did y'all see that too? Like that joke post that I made about Stephen Hawking, and I said, "Man, that guy's able to land multiple chicks. What's your excuse?" And dudes are like, "He's got money and status." And I'm like,
"No way."
Oh no!
Guys went there?
I lived in the back of my truck for 2 years, for goodness sake, and I still got more lays than I do now. So I don't want to hear it.
People are
One last thing. I want to go back to something Nuke said about like guys falling to women. The thing is, like, guys, they need to realize one thing because that's the thing where they mess up all the time. They find a nice woman or like hot chick and they just fall for her. So they need to rationalize that thing. Like you have a brain, for fuck's sake. You're not an emotional creature like women. Just rationalize the things. What do you like about this woman? Is it the sex? Is it the way she treats you? Is it like how she looks, how she smells? Then just have an abundance, like spin plates. You're gonna discover that you find something that you like in each woman that you meet. So that one-itis thing is gonna die off, and she's not gonna be that special anymore, and that's gonna be saving you from actually having one-itis and trying to save one woman. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you guys want to wrap up?
Yep.
Nuke, where can people find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter. All my links, I'll put the link tree in the chat. I will say this final closing thought is we dropped off women in a mansion by themselves.
I love this.
And we basically said, hey, have fun. Do whatever you want. And they're like, really? And we're like, yep, you just have fun. We'll come back, pick you up after the weekend. And we let all these girls into that mansion, and they spent hours, days swinging from the chandeliers, eating all the food, fighting, like just doing whatever the hell they want, breaking stuff, breaking furniture, hurting each other, all that stuff. Sometimes they invited guys through the back door to have fun, and then they kicked them out again. Then there's some guys that are banging on the window that are saying, hey, stop swinging from the chandelier. You'll hurt yourself. Come on, get out of there. Please listen to us. And then we came back after the weekend was over. We picked them up and we're like, hey, did you guys have fun? And they're like, full of bruises. They're all sick because they had all the candy in the fridge. There's no, they get into fights. They all hate each other. And you realize, like, that's what we did to women, right? We abandoned them completely to do whatever they want. We have abandoned women completely. Like, there is nothing we've done. Everything we do is to tell women you can do whatever you want and that reality and physics don't exist, right? And it's sad because, like, none of us can do anything about it, right? You can only pick an individual girl from the bunch and be like, hey, Are you insane? No? All right. Let's see if this works. Because honestly, if you really think about it, a girl that has never been told no, what do you think that looks like from 14 years old all the way to 30? What do you think a person that's never been told no or has been told, hey, you shouldn't be doing this? What do you think that looks like at 30? Right? That's why. And then guys are like, oh, these women hit the. I'm like, it's not that they're hitting the wall so much that they are finally getting the effects of reality at the end, and then they like, I can't deal with this. I'm gonna get a man to save me, to pull me out of this. And that's why, you have to be careful and kind of look at it like that. We have abandoned them completely. They're doing whatever they want all the time, right? And I know this because I date women that don't want to be in a relationship with me, but also they kind of want to have me like just there. And I see that what their lives are like, and their lives are just constantly them explaining to themselves. They go to therapy. Hey, the therapist says, hey, you shouldn't be doing this. They quit therapy. Then they get into a fight with their friends, and then they get drunk, and then they hook up with a guy, and then they call you at 2 a.m. because that guy ignored them. And then they get fat, and then they lose 20 pounds because they forget to eat for 2 weeks. And then they gain 40 pounds because they're drinking again. It's just like no one in their life is telling them, hey, what are you doing? Stop. And then when they hit 30, they want you to save them. Think about that. You don't want to be the guy banging on the side of the mansion, being like, hey, stop it. You just want to be the guy that slips in the back, enjoys them, and leave. And then when one of those girls wants to leave with you and say, fuck this mansion, I want to get with you, then you can save her. So that's all I got to say. Thanks, guys.
That was a pretty epic rant, Nuke, and very accurate as well.
Yeah, it took me a while to come up with
I love that.
I know it's a proper analogy. Hawk, where can people find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter and then my own YouTube channel. And if you guys want to check out more of my stuff, most of it is at the Old Glory Club these days. So that's more of my politics stuff. But always a pleasure. Happy New Year, fellas. It's going to be a fun one. Everyone buckle your seatbelts. It's going to be tons of fun this year.
The year the Trad Tits will decide the election.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts?
No, I don't think I need to say any more than that's already been said. This is a good episode.
Nice. Mish?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Shadow Arabia. I have a Substack where I write from time to time. That's about it. No closing thoughts. I want to go bomb some stuff and go to sleep.
I thought that was going to be a Substack exclusive on yours. How to create pipe bombs and stuff. I was going to subscribe for that.
Maybe.
Gov,
I give
closing
actionable advices.
Oh, but
actionable,
before I get to Gov, real quick, Dark Knight Dev for the $5. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I don't have the applause button, unfortunately. You a-holes need to step up and be a real man. If I can step up for Rob's kids, then you can do the same. Become trad. Rob has kids? What? I've been hosting with that man for 4 years almost.
Become trad.
And I didn't even know that. Dev, what you been up to? What you been up to, man? But
He's
thank you for
becoming the dad who
$5.
stepped up.
I appreciate it. Gov, closing thoughts, and where can people find
No immediate closing thoughts, but y'all know where you can find me. I put them in the comments. I'm too lazy to say everything. So, yeah, no. Everything that I wanted to say has pretty much been said on these closing thoughts. Exactly everything. Don't waste your time saving women that you'd have no connection with or anything like that. I don't like sounding like the guys that say, oh, work on yourself, because I feel like a lot of those guys are saying it's because they want to feel superior, but I do mean it in the way like, don't waste your time thinking you're going to get these chicks, and, half of them on Twitter aren't even real. Most of them aren't real, for that matter.
Nope. Real quick. I wonder for some odd reason, my chat is being gay. I don't know why.
As always.
We had a very busy chat today, around 50 people watching. I hope all of you enjoyed.
Pretty soon we're going to get 100 people watching. It's going to be great.
Oh, goddamn. The pressure. Comment down below your thoughts of this show. Hit the like, comment, subscribe. And if you want to support the channel, you can click the join button and get my version of the Book of Puck audiobook for free, plus the Gendernomics audiobook bundle, also narrated by me. Guys, we will see you again next week. Closing thoughts from me. A lot of people abandoned themselves and now want you to save them. and it's your job to save yourself, not somebody else. It's kind of like what I said on Twitter a while back, where I got some shit from. It's not your job to retire your parents. A lot of people didn't like that, but that holds true for this one as well. We'll see you guys next time. Cheers. Boom.